So before we begin the presentation of the certificates, I ask that General Mikelis please come forward for some encouraging remarks to the graduating class.
I don't like that one. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. I wish I were Hillary right now and I had those little things that you can speak from. Anyway, the reason I'm here today is because, well, it's for three celebrations. My first is last week, I made the 90-year-old mark. The second reason is 72 years ago, I attended basic training right here at Keesler Field. And the third reason is because of my grandson, Nicholas, graduated today. It's kind of a family thing. My son, Peter Jr., is here. His wife, Maxine. My lovely partner, Boy. And we have a new cabin follower today, Shannon, his fiance. So with that, I'd like to tell you in July of 1944, no, in June, I'm sorry, June, no, I'm backwards. January, February, and March 1944, 200 aviation cadets arrived here for basic training. Our instructors were infantry, combat veterans who had just arrived from Africa. So we did a lot of marching, we did a lot of calisthenics, and we did hand-to-hand combat. Now, we were going to be flyers, and after so many broken noses, teeth, and jaws, arms and legs, they decided to change the criteria and try to tell us how to evade the enemy in case we were shot down and try to avoid being captured. Nicholas graduated a few years ago from basic training in San Antonio, Texas. And after graduation, he said to me, "Grandpa, did you go through this?" And I didn't answer him. So I kind of reflected back to how it was way back there in 1944. It was cold, it was wet, it rained every day, and I was always hungry. We did a lot of marching. Half the time with our gas masks on, which was kind of a relief to keep that pelting, icy rain from hitting us in the face. Our uniform was one-piece fatigues. We had canvas leggings, shoes, combat shoes that you had to use dubbing to keep them from, make them waterproof. Cap, a woolen overcoat, and a raincoat. And we marched and had calisthenics, weather permitting, and a lot of other miscellaneous things. After we were there about halfway through the program, we went out to the bivouac area and pulled targets for a week. And we also shot weapons for a week. We had, we lived in a little tent, which was 4 pieces, the 4 guys put together, and it's like a club tent. It was no higher than 3 feet tall. And we slept on a lot of pine needles, but it was always wet. And the program got delayed. So actually, we were there about 2 weeks. When we came back, took off our uniform, and the stench was pretty bad. As you can imagine, being in the same underwear, suit, you know, and all that stuff for 2 weeks straight. And then we found out that we were infected by these little bugs that started chewing into our skin. And the medics had to be called to help remove them. And it was not any fun. There was still a lot of problems created because of infections. During that time, they found out that, oh, there's 200 aviation cadets. We don't have room to send them to primary training. So they came up with a bogus test, which was an eye-hand coordination test, which had absolutely nothing to do with flying. So 50% of those were washed out from pilot school. They gave the option of going online training, or going to gunnery school, or transferring to the paratroopers, or going to aviation mechanics engine school, which was here at Keesler Field. About a week or so later, some musically inclined cadet came up with some new words. And the words were, you promised me wings made of silver. You promised me bars made of gold. You made me an aerial gunner. I died when 19 years old. Anyway, that was the song we sang all the time until we left. 200 cadets arrived here as boards. 200 cadets left as men. Thank you.
Staff Sergeant Nicholas Mikelis, presenting his badge to his grandfather, Lt.General Peter Mikelis. Sergeant Mikelis has been assigned to the 836th Cyber Operations Squadron, Joint Base San Antonio, Texas.
Gerald will get younger every year.